Can Saitama stop a Viltrumite invasion all by himself? He's famous for being able to take down any villain with just one punch. But is that still going to hold true when he's going up against the likes of Omni-Man, Conquest, and the entire Viltrumite Empire all at the same time? Let's find out. Today we're diving into a huge one, a clash that you guys have been asking for. On one side, you've got the full might of the Viltrumite Empire from Invincible, an army of conquerors that has taken over thousands of worlds. And on the other, you have Saitama from One Punch Man, a guy who became a hero for a hobby and ends fights in a single hit. This isn't just about who's stronger. It's about what happens when a race that seems to have no limits runs headfirst into a hero who is basically a walking punchline to the whole idea of limits. So, what would actually happen if the Viltrumite war machine landed on Saitama's Earth? Who's really walking away from this? All right, so first, let's take a look at the Viltrumites. And really, the first question we got to answer is, why are the Viltrumites so stinking powerful? Well, it's because their entire race is basically a war machine that's been perfected over thousands of years. A single Viltrumite is a threat to a whole planet. Their powers are terrifyingly simple. Super strength that can move mountains, or like Omni-Man did, divert a meteor the size of Texas. They have super speed that lets them fly between star systems, and they're so durable they can survive in a vacuum or even inside a star. These guys are built for one thing: conquest. Their bodies can heal from wounds that would kill anyone else, and their stamina is so legendary they can fight for weeks straight without getting tired. Plus, they barely age, staying in their prime for millennia. But you also got to remember, there's a huge gap between all these different Viltrumites. It's not like you'll see a lot of top-tier guys running around. Down at the bottom, you have hybrids or weaker purebloods who are still city-level threats. Then you've got your mid-tier warriors like Omni-Man, who can mess up entire planets by himself. Above them are the elites, guys like Conquest and Anissa, who are just ruthless and can overpower almost anyone. And at the very tip top, well, you got Grand Regent Thragg. This guy is so powerful, he could beat multiple elites at once and fought the legendary battle beast for days until the planet they were on was literally fractured. Their biggest feat, the one everyone talks about, is destroying their own planet, Viltrum. Now, to be fair, it took 3 of their most powerful guys, Thragg, Omni-Man, and Invincible, flying at near light speed into the planet's already unstable core to get it done. But still, it proves that at their absolute peak, they are planet busters. Their strategy is just brutal, overwhelming force. To them, Earth would just be one more world on the list. Now let's talk about our boy Saitama. His story is the total opposite of the Viltrumites' epic space opera. He was just a regular guy, no job, no prospects, who decided to become a hero just for fun. And his training routine is legendary: 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run every single day. And the result? Well, 2 things happened. 1, his hair fell out. And 2, he became so strong that he didn't just get superhuman powers, he completely broke the rules of his universe. See, in One Punch Man, there's this theory from Dr. Genus that every living thing has a limiter, a cap on their potential put there by God. Saitama, just through pure willpower, didn't just raise his limiter, he smashed it to pieces. What that means is Saitama has no ceiling. He has limitless potential for growth. And that's the most important thing to get in this whole debate. His feats are just ridiculous. He took out a city-destroying meteor with a casual punch. He got kicked to the moon by Boros, and he just held his breath and jumped back to Earth, not missing a beat. And against Boros' ultimate move, the collapsing star-roaring cannon, which was stated to have enough power to wipe the surface of the planet, Saitama threw one serious punch that didn't just cancel out the beam, but it parted the clouds across the entire globe. And then there's his fight against Cosmic Garou. That fight was so insane, they had to take it to one of Jupiter's moons so they wouldn't destroy the Earth. And during that fight, we saw what Saitama's power is really about. He didn't just beat Garou, he got exponentially stronger every single second. There was literally a graph showing his power level just spiking into infinity. He was holding back with one hand for most of the fight, all while tanking cosmic radiation that was instantly killing other S-class heroes. The man sneezed, and blew away the entire atmosphere of Jupiter. Saitama's problem is never if he can win. It's the crushing boredom of knowing there's no real challenge for him. So that's the tale of the tape, an empire of planet busters versus a man with no limits. Before we get into how this whole invasion goes down, I want to hear from you. Just based on what we've covered, who do you think takes this? Let me know in the comments below, and hey, if you're enjoying the breakdown, do me a favor and punch that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. The day the Viltrumite Armada shows up would be the worst day in the history of the Hero Association. No question. The sky would go dark with thousands of them, each one faster than anything they've ever seen. The first wave would just be devastating. C, B, and A-class heroes, they'd be gone in an instant. Even the S-class would be in deep trouble. Sure, a powerhouse like Tatsumaki could probably take on a few Viltrumites, but her psychic powers would be stretched to their limit against an entire army of beings who are all incredibly fast and strong. The fact is, through sheer numbers and combat speed, the Viltrumites would likely overwhelm the S-class. The planet would be on the verge of falling, and then Saitama would show up, probably late because he was trying to catch a sale at the supermarket. The first fight would say it all. Some confident Viltrumite warrior, fresh off beating a bunch of heroes, sees this bald guy in a goofy costume and goes in for the kill. He throws a punch that should turn bone into dust, and it does. Absolutely nothing. Saitama would just stand there with that blank look on his face, totally unfazed. Then he'd throw a normal, casual punch, and the Viltrumite would just explode. Confusion would turn to panic. More would attack. A high-tier elite like Conquest, a guy who lives to break his opponents, might try to brutalize him. He'd find out his strongest hits feel like throwing a tennis ball at a mountain. Every single Viltrumite who steps up meets the same end. Their fists shatter on his body. Their speed looks like slow motion to him. Finally, Grand Regent Thragg himself would come down, furious that his entire conquest has been stopped by this one guy. He'd gather what's left of his empire. They might even try their planet-busting move, all three of their strongest flying into the planet's core. Saitama, maybe a little annoyed that this is taking so long, would decide it's time to end it. It wouldn't even take his full power. A single serious punch, a move that already overpowered a planet surface wiping beam, would send out a shockwave so powerful that the entire Viltrumite army would just be gone. It wouldn't be a fight. It would be an extermination. So, can Saitama do it? Can he stop an entire Viltrumite invasion? Well, yeah, I think he can. And he's going to love every single second of it. Here's why it's not even close. The Viltrumites, as powerful as they are, have limits. I think at best you can scale the highest tier Viltrumites, your Thragg or your end of series Invincible, up to around the level of Lord Boros. And honestly, those might be the only two you can do that with. They're the only ones I'd say are close to planetary on their own. And well, we all saw what Saitama did to Lord Boros with just one serious punch. Now, maybe you want to argue for just sheer numbers. You could say that, yeah, each Viltrumite is weaker, but an entire army will eventually overwhelm him. After all, he's just one guy. But really, I think that would just be an opportunity for Saitama to finally get the fight he's always wanted. It would be a chance for him to finally push himself and start growing stronger and stronger. And if that happens, well, we all saw what took place in his fight with Cosmic Garou. The moment Saitama got a real challenge, his power started growing so fast and so exponentially that Garou, who was literally copying his stats in real time, couldn't keep up. Saitama was blitzing and bullying his own power level from just moments before. And he did all of that with just one hand. Any Viltrumite who could match him for a single second would be hopelessly outclassed in the next. Fighting him is like trying to outrun the concept of speed. The Viltrumite Empire is an unstoppable force, but Saitama is an immovable object that punches back with infinite force. He's a parody of these very debates. The whole point of his character is that he just wins. The Viltrumites would come looking for a glorious war, but all they'd find is the end. But that's what I think. Do you agree? Or do you think the Viltrumite numbers game could actually pull out a win somehow? Let me know your full thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video where we'll be asking, could Gojo Satoru survive the world of Warhammer 40K? You won't want to miss that.